Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death.
Hello. So, Leon took his rest, and you're awakened by the morning sun. You're bedded down and on this forest floor, wherever you're able to find enough space to lay out.
Oh, thank God.
Um,
All right, Leon's going to
Probably a
memorize.
cold and restless night, but you're rested enough to memorize your spells and do whatever it is you're going to do.
So, I'm going to get one Fist of Stone and one Shocking Grasp for surezies. I'm just not sure what I should do with my extra spell slot now that I'm level 2.
Oh, yeah. Don't you only have 2 spells?
But I can learn an additional... Yeah, so I can only learn those 2, but I get to learn 3 slots. Fist of Stone... Stone is 1 round per level. Shocking Grasp is... I think also 1 round per level? Yeah. Until discharged. But I can cast Fist of Stone as if I were D4 levels higher as a Geomancer. Let's get 2 Fist of Stones, 1 Shocking Grasp. So that's half an hour of memorizing spells.
Okay.
Before Leon gets his shit together and heads out.
Do you have a direction sense or not?
I do not.
Okay. So you are in the middle of the woods. You're more or less, I guess, able to know which you can tell which side the sun is on, but that's about the best you can do. For all intents and purposes, you have no idea where you are.
I can sort of head south. It might not be a straight shot. It might be like a wandering serpentine thing. I'm definitely a little lost. But I know I've got the river to one side and the ocean to the other side. So as long as I don't accidentally head north, eventually I'll come to some form of like land marker that I can follow my way home. Not that I have a home.
Okay, so I guess you set off wandering in the woods. Okay. You make it midway through the day with no encounters. Stop for lunch and keep going. I mean, your movement is somewhat hindered by the forest.
That's fine.
No?
Fine. If it doesn't look, if the sun is like an hour or 2 from setting, and I still haven't found a river or an ocean or some sign of civilization, I'm gonna try and make an early camp to try and make myself like a better camp. You know, like I'll find a bunch of leaves and pile them up to make a bed and give myself like an hour to prepare a place to sleep so it's not so goddamn miserable.
Yeah. So by the end of the day, the forest is thinning out. So by the end of the day, you reach sort of the border of the forest, and you can see the rolling hills to your south. And you spot some, I guess, the first sign of civilization all day. Some large wooden structures, sort of off to what you assume to be generally to the east.
I'd be lying.
Okay.
I will go to civilization. I will sleep indoors. I will have hot food. I will have
not so
coffee.
fast. There's there's a couple of large wooden buildings, and the flickering of firelight. So by the time you reach it, the sun has gone down or going down. It's like just after twilight, and it appears to be some sort of logging camp on the edge of the forest. It's at the base of a mountain, large hill. We'll call it a hill.
Okay.
There's a couple of these buildings. You make your way sort of through the clearing.
Are there a lot of people
and towards
here?
You haven't seen anyone quite yet. You can see the flickering of firelight as you enter the clearing.
Okay.
as you get a better vantage, yeah, you can see at the center of this camp, there's maybe a dozen or so men gathered around the fire.
Okay. I tried to make my presence conspicuous and known. I don't want these people to think I'm sneaking up on them. I want them to, view me favorably. So I'll walk into camp and kind of kick some things along my way to alert people to my attention before I speak up.
Yeah. Roll a charisma check.
11.
Okay. How does this go wrong? Do you not make yourself conspicuous enough and surprise them? Do you look your usual shabby and...
I think it's the other way around. I think I'm making myself too conspicuous. I'm like knocking shit over and like kicking rocks, and it might sound like maybe it's more people and it's actually me, or maybe I'm just like being an asshole and like I kick a rock and it flies and like hits a person or something.
Yeah, you get their attention. You approach the fire, a dozen or so lumberjacks gathered around, and they stand and turn to you.
Ho there, friends.
You notice some of them are going for weapons. They don't draw them, but they're on edge. One steps forward. A shortish, bearded man, broad shoulders, and a red shirt. Says, "Ho there, traveler. We don't want no trouble."
You got a place I can stay for the night? Or do you make a habit of denying hospitality to beleaguered travelers?
This here is a private camp.
I'm a private sort of guy. Sounds like we'll fit in.
I don't think so.
I can pay you. I shift around and pull out 2 gold coins from my pocket.
He puts up a hand to refuse, but roll a charisma check again.
Ooh, 23.
Okay. All right. He looks like he was about to protest. I'm like, crap. I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm. There's unlikely that this is his operation or whatever, but
hopefully some gold will change his mind.
Yeah. So one of the guys behind him sort of leans in and whispers something in his ear, and they step away from the fire for a second, have a short conversation. Less than 30 seconds later, they return. He's like, "All right, you can bunk up in the mill, but if anyone asks, you were never here."
Pleasure doing business, and I toss the coins his way.
He grabs the coins. Can I get you some chili, an ale?
Oh dear God, yes.
All right. Scoops you a bowl of chili.
Right.
Fills your wineskin with ale from a flask. And
delicious. I will happily stuff my face with chili and wine and ale.
Okay. Yeah, I think you wolf down your chili before you realize how sort of awkward it is to be sitting at this fire with these guys, and how they were. Yeah, you're thinking it may have been better if you just taken your meal to the mill and got done with it. But
5 charisma, don't care.
Yeah. All right. So you eventually head to this large sawmill. It was one of the buildings that you saw. You're going to be the only one there, right? It's not particularly well insulated, a little drafty. You suspect all the men are bunked up in the other building,
but it's better than sleeping on the cold, hard ground. I hope.
Yeah.
Sure. At least there's a shelter, and if it's drafty, there's no like gusts of wind there's not like large blowing wind that's going to affect me. And if it rains, I'll be warm, I'll be dry. You know it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything happened that night?
No.
Come morning, I want to get my bearings with these fellers.
Yeah, they're probably up before you, and maybe you're even woken to the sound of commotion and work being done.
Okay, well then, as I wake up and all these things are happening, I'll rub my blurry eyes and ask one of them which way to Glenberg.
You sort of look shiftily to the side. Glenberg's about a day's walk north of here.
North?
Sort of points like up the slope behind y'all,
Christ.
up into the woods.
Sweet Martha's bosom, where am I?
Shadows of Ashen, Holt, he says. And you should probably get out of here before it gets too much later. The red cloaks tend to check in from time to time.
Thank you for your hospitality, gents.
Yeah, roll an intelligence check.
Redcoats has got me a little worried. 35.
Okay. Looking around this logging camp, it looks like they are constructing engines of war. You see like some frames that you're pretty sure belong to like trebuchets or something of the sort.
Okay. Leon makes a good note of that. Maybe pauses on his way out to give them a closer inspection. Not a physically closer, but looks at them for a good 15, 20 seconds.
Do you have an engineering proficiency or anything of the sort?
No.
Yeah.
But it's like the realization that these are siege weapons and that means something is about to be sieged. So Leon tucks this information away for later use and heads the direction they pointed towards Glenberg. You said up a hill?
Yeah, so you're sort of on the southern slopes of this hill. Actually, now in the sunlight, you can see sort of up at the top of this small mountain, large hill, is a square keep. I think a Mott and Bailey, is that the term for like a large square? Yeah, up at the top of this mountain. You can see the river sort of cascading down between you and the keep. The keep's it's probably like a couple miles up the side of this mountain. You're sort of on the southwestern slopes, and he had gestured sort of up and over the other side of this ridge.
Do I know if the red cloaks are the bastards' men or?
I don't know if you know offhand. Roll some sort of check to see. I doubt you want to roll charisma, although local history would certainly do it.
Let's do charisma. I think that's the most appropriate thing, probably.
Fair enough, yeah.
15,
No. But you do remember that the soldiers who arrested you in Ashlock wore red.
Right, and Ashlock
at
was
least,
within
at least what was his name?
Sir Darian?
Darian, yeah. At least Darian wore a red cloak.
Okay, and though Darian was a member, Ashlock is within the bounds of Ashen Holt, of the Bastard's Kingdom, I think.
You think?
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So which direction are you headed?
Entirely, actually, then I'll start walking, then maybe turn around and come back, and go talk to the person I've been communicating with and say, by the by.
Is this the person? So the person you grabbed this morning was not the same guy you treated last night.
I don't really care who it is. I'm hoping to talk to someone I've talked to before, just to be a little bit more sociable. But I don't really give a shit who it is.
Yeah. You find the same lumberjack you were just chatting with.
By the by, is there some sort of? You guys looking for extra help? You got something you need doing?
You'll have to check with the foreman, and
I look about for foreman.
He can direct you some ways off. It's probably like a quarter mile out of the camp, so then on the edge of the forest. Where him and a half dozen or so men are chopping down trees as they do.
I will head to the foreman.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the time where I can get my next plan in action.
All right then.
So I'll go find this foreman, and I want to say to him, "Hey there, hi.
Oh, you're still here.
I'm about to take off, but
yeah, you should get lost, or it gets too much later.
I'm a problem solver by trade. I'd like to, well, I know which side my bread's buttered on. I would like to be of use to the coming changes, if you know what I mean. You got any, how should I say? Any things that need doing that are just beyond your reach? You know what I mean?
He narrows his eyes. Doesn't look like he's totally comprehending. You look like a strong enough chap, but
I'm not the sort of
red cloaks keep tabs on who works here. Roll a charisma check.
I guess what I'm saying, 13, is I'm sure there are things you would like to see done that you have been unable to do so far. Maybe the Red Cloaks won't let you leave camp to attend to them. Maybe it's beyond your capability. Maybe you just know that the Red Cloaks would look favorably upon you if you could complete something outside of their expectations of you. I would like to help facilitate this. I would like to help see your cause be done.
I'll let you re-roll that charisma check as if you had advantage or something.
Not much better.
No. I think the most help you can be to me is getting lost and pretending like you never saw this place.
Fair enough.
You have a good day now.
I don't quite leave. Leon's pondering casting Fist of Stone and smashing something to prove his use to these people, because he wants to find a way to like get in on the Bastard of Ashenholt's good side. And so he's like he wants to find a spot in his organization that he can like get into and then work his way up from. But this might not be the right time. In fact, he knows it's not the right time. He needs to go study his new spells. So he's gonna head back. He'll leave and head north.
Okay, so you crest the hill, and I guess as you're climbing this hill, this camp is, looking back down on it, it is nice concealed camp in this little valley here, sort of tucked along the slopes of the hill next to the river, concealed by sort of trees at the edge of the forest, and you lose sight of the buildings by the time you're
Sure.
cresting over the hill. And you head north.
I do.
You do get a glimpse at some point through the trees of the road ahead and the river.
God.
So you can sort of get your bearings.
Yeah, I think Leon might even burst into a run to get to the river and the road.
Oh, so this camp was along the river.
Okay.
The camp was, and
Sure. Well, yeah. I'll move along the river then, in the road, and make my way to Glenberg.
So you're not quite at the road is about a mile ahead through the forest.
Sure.
The river as well. The source of the river must actually be somewhere on this mountainside. Because there's rivers going both ways now that you look at it, and they may not even be connected.
I'll make for the road. That's a more reliable route than if there's multiple rivers in different directions. For reference, the mountain is south of my position or like east of my position?
You're on the western slopes of the mountain.
Got it. That's what I thought.
Right.
Okay.
So right now, like the hill and the Mott and Bailey are like concealing the sunrise from you.
Okay. There's like a mountain, and there's a hill before the mountain, or is the Mott and Bailey?
I'm using them interchangeably. It's
Okay.
a pretty pitiful excuse for a mountain, but it's the
Okay.
tallest thing around.
So here's our Mott and Bailey, and there's like a river that goes in both directions, sort of.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, and then there must be like a road off to the side over here, and Leon's like this, and he wants to go that way.
Let me check. The hill, or the road goes through the keep.
Okay, so it's more like
Right. Yeah.
Perfect. That's good. As long as the road is heading, northward. That's my plan. Is head north by northwest. North by northwest. So that way I can intersect the road. Not like I don't want to pop out on the road right next to me because that might produce questions. But if I can pop out further up, hopefully that'll be fine.
Cool. Yeah.
Do I head this way?
Yeah. The only thing is the road heads like south out of the keep.
Sure.
So, like, down like that. Yeah. So the camp was somewhere around here, maybe.
Okay.
In here, sort of in the forest, but the forest kind of is cut back like that from the road.
Okay.
So once you've crested the hill, concealing the camp,
and it's an easy.
Walk a little bit of ways. Yeah, the forest has been cleared around that road, and it's
perfect.
It's an easy thing to meet up with it. A mile or so ahead.
And this right here then is Ashen Holt, yeah.
Yeah. As far as you can gather.
You know what? Screw Glenberg. Let's go to Ashen Holt. I'll step onto the road, turn to my right, and make my way to Ashen Holt. Maybe I can do two birds with one stone here.
Okay. There is some traffic once you reach the road. Farmers going to and fro with their ox carts, looking sad and dejected, as farmers tend to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think at this time of day, most of the traffic is going up, into Ashen Holt, uphill. So you pass these ox carts struggling up.
I will not offer to help anyone. I give no shits about these peasants as I make my way into Ashen Holt.
Yeah. You pass an old woman, bundle of rags on the side of the road with a small wheelbarrow, hawking turnips. Turnips for sale.
This is something...
You there, young man? You look like you could use a nice, nutritious meal.
I completely ignore the old woman with the sort of like ignoring that you do to those of lower position than you in society.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Leon is comfortable with people and cities. This is maybe even like a welcome relief from all the druidic magical stuff that he's been doing that's out of his wheelhouse.
Okay. All right. So you make your way past the peasants, ignoring their hawking of wares. And you spot a pair of soldiers sort of making their way sort of against traffic down the hill.
All right.
Clad with red capes on their backs.
Leon
Does Leon
acts
react?
nonchalantly. He's used to seeing guards move through crowds of people. I don't think he even breaks a sweat as they come by.
Okay. The fact that you broke out of out of jail a week or so ago. Doesn't.
I mean, I used to work for the goldsmiths union. You know, like
Okay.
I break legs for a living.
All
This
right. Okay.
is
So I guess yeah, they don't notice you. They don't make any fuss. They walk on past, but there appears to be a military presence, and that becomes abundantly clear as you see another pair, and then a pair on horseback, and you make your way up the. Now you're coming in from the north. So like you started on the south side, you climbed over, so it's getting on towards noon or so. As you make your way into Ashen Holt, there is no wall around the city itself. Although I guess, as you're coming in from the north, you do see some sort of new construction, a palisade wall
okay.
between you and Ashen Holt on this side. There's not like a gate, but it looks like there's like makeshift fortifications have been put up. So like a fresh palisade wall here on the north side. But again, it's not a gate. Like there's a gap where the path walks through it. Right. You may have to like walk around the wall, and there's some guards loitering around. Up more on like the southern side, but I guess starting here, there's just a bunch of buildings, hovels, and whatnot. And, a city on the slopes of this mountain. The keep is up at the very top, so you sort of enter the city halfway up the hillside.
All right. So the first thing
you can do whatever it is you can do in a city.
So here are Leon's objectives, just so you and Pat knows. First off, he wants to find an inn. He's got a few spells that he can try to learn again. He's got Chill Touch and Taunt that he can try to learn. The next thing he wants to do is find out if the Goldsmiths Union have any reach down here, which is going to be a little bit more difficult and a little bit more careful, since asking those questions can, inadvertently reveal yourself to the people that you're trying to hide from. And the third objective of Leon's is to try to suss out if the Goldsmiths Union have friendly or unfriendly ties with Bastard of Ashen Holt. And that might be something I already know or not. I'm not sure.
Roll another check. You could probably persuade me to not use charisma. But
yeah, I mean, I've been a member of that organization, so maybe like a perception check to have overheard something, or an intelligence check to like.
I think an intelligence
together.
I'm sure you would have overheard things. I think an intelligence check to recall.
Okay. 36.
Yeah, you're positive that the Union has some reach down here. You're maybe a little hazy on how this whole war or whatever it is has interrupted those operations, but you've definitely heard whispers of contacts in Ashen Holt.
Okay, but it doesn't sound like they are working with the bastard himself. Like they are.
With the 19, there's no official word on that, as in like, but you suspect that perhaps the Union is exerting some pull one way or another, maybe playing like both ends against the middle or whatever, playing both sides of the conflict. But no, I mean, it wouldn't be out of the question that the Union would have some
Right, so they might have some workings, but there's probably not like a strong alliance with the bastard.
I'm not gonna like you. All of this is way above your pay grade, but I will say you roll, but with a 19, I mean, you wouldn't say that. No, okay. It wouldn't be out of the question for the Union to be working directly with the bastard, or with the Duke of Seagate for that matter, and very, very potentially both.
Right. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a place of protection from them. So if I can work with the bastard and the bastard's men and make myself useful to them in some way, or at least form some sort of, for lack of a better word, alliance. Probably not so much like alliance between two separate powers, but like if I can integrate myself into their system, and I feel like I could probably use that as protection from the Goldsmiths Union on some level. That's what I'm hoping. And then I'm also hoping that will allow me to find a way to get off this island eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my plans. First things first, though, gotta find an inn where I can stay for a few days so I can learn some spells.
Yeah. You're pretty yeah. Roll we can just keep running with that in check. You're pretty sure you could locate a guild-friendly tavern in this place. Would you seek to avoid something like that?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. All right. So you find some. I think you find like a working folks tavern full of farmers. Maybe not full. Yeah. By midday when you walk in, maybe it's full of farmers grabbing their lunch, their supper. Or maybe city folk grabbing their supper, but working class. No obvious guild presence.
This is like in tavern. I can get a night here. A few nights here.
Yeah.
Does this place have a name?
We'll make one up. The roasted turnip.
Roasted turnip. Have you been eating turnips lately?
I have not. No.
Well then, I'll come on into the roasted turnip. Look around for the person who can sell me a room. Rent me a room.
There's a welcoming common room with a couple of beds upstairs.
Oh, fantastic. I find the proprietor, pull out 5 gold coins immediately and set them down on the table before him, or the person who rents me the room.
Her is a portly woman with crinkly gray hair and jolly cheeks on her face, of course. Well then, haven't seen that color of coin in this establishment in, well, it's been a while.
Cover it with my hands.
What may I ask? Are you expecting to pay such a steep price for?
Peace, quiet, a place to put my feet up for a week or so, and on the road, been lost in the woods. I'm tired, cold, I'm hungry. Just want some peace and quiet.
Well enough. We got a private room available.
I will uncover the money.
You can have it.
Shove it towards him.
It's yours for the week. She sweeps the coins into her hand and sticks them in an apron. And some lunch.
Yes.
An ale.
Yes.
Right up.
Brought up to the room, please.
All right then.
The word "please" kind of feels weird for Leon to say. He's trying to fit in, but he's awkward.
Up the stairs, end of the hall. Yours is on the right.
Key? Lock?
She shakes her head.
I'll go. And then, God, as you said, it's well into the afternoon already.
It's about noon. Yeah.
Oh, it's only about
midday.
Noon. Okay.
Yeah.
Do I feel well rested enough to try and learn some new spells?
Sure, you can spend the rest of the day learning spells.
Okay. Well, I've got Chill Touch and Taunt. So I'm going to go start with Taunt because I don't need 3 touch attack spells. That seems...
Yeah, would you say Chill Touch and Taunt?
Yeah.
But touch attack spells are your...
They are, but...
It's your thing.
But I think Taunt is a very good Leon spell to have.
Okay, go ahead and give her a roll.
D100, I need a 50 or lower. Yes!
Okay.
Oh, dear God, it's a beautiful day.
You're not sure if it was interacting with Fano that gave you that stroke of inspiration, or if you just learned how to be annoying and insightful on your own.
Yes. Oh, so I'll learn that over the course of the day.
I mean, as a matter of fact, why don't we just deal with end of session stuff here, right?
Perfect.
Apologies to chat, but I've got a meeting to get to, so this was just a short game today.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and get Leon leveled and stuff, unless unless you have any objections.
I have no objections. Well, my only objection would be, it'd be great if I could try chill touch at level 2, and that way, if I fail, I can try it again at level 3.
Yeah, okay,
I know that's
ahead.
a little meta-gamey, but we're right
It's
on that
fine.
border. Okay, cool.
It's fine.
All right, so I'm going to try chill touch the next day, which is a fail.
Okay. So you can immediately. So we'll go ahead and level you up. You didn't really do a whole lot. You traveled to another dimension. I think you got experience for that last time. I'll just, yeah. Can you think of anything you accomplished? There was some interacting with
Thanos.
With Fano.
Didn't go so
whatever.
well. Yeah.
You basically left the other side as soon as you got there.
Yeah, I don't think I accomplished anything too specific in terms of like progress character-wise, but story-wise, I think I've positioned myself exactly where I want to be. Like this is where I was hoping to get eventually, and I just got here a little sooner than expected. And I just need to catch up with my spells, so probably not a high XP day, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's been a short session. I'll give you a measly 270, but that's enough to get you the 1 over to level 3.
270. It's so pitiful.
Times 10% bonus.
Times 10%. All right, 297 on top of my 4999 brings me to 5296. All right, which gets me to level 2/3, which is the all critical point where I now gain hit points.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I get a
D4.
D4. For hit points. We're not using the updated.
High con?
No, we're not using the updated wizard rule with D6 hit points. That's fine.
Why would we? That's only
That's only Neal and dragons. I know.
Yeah, Yaramir's the only character who's ever gotten D6 HP as a wizard.
I know.
Which I kind of like, but
we'll stick with the D4. So an additional 3 HP, 21 out of 21.
Not too shabby. You probably get a new non-weapon proficiency slot.
I do. I will think about that over the course of the weeks.
And you get access to second level spells.
Yes.
And you get a chance to relearn spells you've failed.
Yes.
Which
so I currently have failed Read Magic and Chill Touch. And so next session, which will be a while away, we can try and get Read Magic and Chill Touch, and then
you want to save that
a little bit.
Yeah, you want to save that.
I'm happy to roll it now if you want, but
it's up to you.
No, let's save it. Let's save it. That'll be more fun.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. So
it?
You've got a spot you can rest here in Ashen Holt for at least long enough to do some spell studying.
Yeah.
So I guess next week we'll pick up with maybe not next session.
Next session, which will be a ways off, I believe.
Well,
I'm out of town starting tomorrow all the way through next week. Actually,
you got misclicks tonight, right?
I do have misclicks tonight, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'll be back in town Tuesday of next week, but probably not until like late in the afternoon Tuesday of next week.
Okay.
So we'll have to sort out another playtime for Dicing with Death whenever we can finagle one.
Yeah.
I think next week we're not going to have a fro. I think someone is out of town.
You mean this
No,
week?
This week I'm out of town, but I think the 23rd somebody else is out of town. So we could do, we might be able to fill in with the Dicing with Death or something.
Yeah, this is the first I've heard of no fro on the 23rd.
Yeah, I think Nick or Sean.
I thought everyone said they were good. I'm not seeing anything, and we'll figure that out.
We'll figure it out.
So keep your eyes on the Google Calendar, Twitch chat, the Twitters, wherever you get your Koibu updates.
Discord, Twitter, Reddit, Google Calendar, stream, everywhere. I try and spam information all over the place. Twitter's usually the best spot for details, and Discord. So that's that. I hope your face is feeling better, Ryan. It looks better.
Fine. Yeah, it's fine. Excuse me? Was it not looking good to begin with?
So part of it was just kind of limp while you were talking at the very end.
Yeah. No, it's finally I'm finally getting feeling back in my face just in time for the show to be over.
Excellent.
It doesn't even matter what I look like.
Oh, well, you got a big meeting today.
Not very big. Not just a prep meeting to go over lab stuff for the week.
It's not an all-important meeting.
No, just a weekly meeting that unfortunately got bumped around.
Not discussing Intel's use of nanotubes as semiconductors and their progress and
Did something happen in that department or something?
nothing big.
No.
Just they're trying to make microchips out of carbon nanotubes.
Nanochips.
Yeah, with mild success. Apparently, carbon nanotubes come in either semiconductor or metallic varieties with a 50-50 probability. Either one. Weird shit. Understand it.
Well, we can talk about it sometime.
Another day. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we will have Misclick's devotion later today in like 5 hours. That's it.
You gonna stream in the meantime?
I have to call my dentist now after this conversation.
You jealous?
Oh, so jealous.
You want to get drilled on too?
No, really not. But got to work out details. So maybe a stream in a few hours.
Alrighty. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.